Channel Z and Knox Brew Hub present Knox Brew Radio and Podcast, an in-depth look at the craft beer scene in Knoxville and the latest craft beer news from around the country and all over the world. Brought to you by First Century Bank, family-owned local banking since 1894. And by longtime friends of the show, Grayson Subaru. Broadcasting live from the Hub in downtown Knoxville every Monday at 6 p.m. And now, kick back and crack one open with local beer's best friends, Zach Roskop and Stryker.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Knox Brew Radio and Podcast. We're live down here at Knox Brew Hub at 421 Union Avenue, and as always, I'm joined with my lovely host here, Candace Ace Preston. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, hey!
I really thought you were talking about me.
And to my right, we have not just Kevin.
Who is also lovely.
And as always, thanks for hanging out with us and for being here. I'm ready to have some fun. You guys ready to have some fun?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some special treats for you all planned today and some wonderful guests, which we'll be introducing in just a few moments. But as always, we want to take a quick shout out to our wonderful sponsors that make the show possible. Grayson Subaru, our buddy Dan over there, who's been a big supporter of everything we've done.
Big Dan.
And we want to thank them. They do a lot for us, and they have for Knox Brew Tours and for Knox Brew Hub. Make sure to check them out. And then also in the house with us, joining us is our other wonderful sponsors from First Century Bank. Yes, we've got Shannon and Kinsey. Thanks for hanging out, y'all.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
They are a local downtown family-owned bank, and they go above and beyond anytime we need anything. You guys always take care of us. In fact, we do all of our banking with them, and I think I should switch personal banking over there too. I should, yeah.
I'm hearing that, yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Now is the time. So a big thank you to you all, and thank you for your support and for allowing us to sit here and have fun every Monday and drink some beer.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'll drink to that.
I'll drink that too. Yeah. Yay. We didn't get an official count.
So
on how many
2
drinks
episodes
to that
ago, our cheers counter hit 10. Last episode, we only hit 8.
Did we only hit 8?
Yes,
we started off so strong.
I felt like we hit more than that.
Well, let's start off stronger this episode. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'll drink to that as well.
There's
yeah,
2.
All right.
Out the gate. Perfect. All right. Also, I want to mention our wonderful video producer who I did a shout out to last week. Cam Molidor is hanging out over here.
He's the best.
Yeah.
The aptly named Cam.
Many of you may not know Cam as he is new-ish to Knoxville. If you'd like to get to know him better, we are going to be interviewing him on an upcoming episode on May 24th.
Yay.
We're going to do 2 shows in the same day so that we can pre-record one of them to be shown on Memorial Day, the following Monday.
Yes.
So we'll be pre-recording a show with Cam. It'll be a marathon Monday, and we look forward to getting to know you better as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he moved all the way from the West Coast just to produce this show.
That's not entirely accurate.
Well,
but it's not entirely inaccurate
I've heard
either.
it both ways.
And hopefully soon we're going to get a slightly larger soundboard. We'll run a mic over to Cam so he can join us on the show as well. Yeah. All right, folks, let's dive straight into this week's Brew News.
Let's do it.
All right, first up, for all Knoxvillians, I'm happy to announce that the latest Knoxville Ale Trail map has just been released. It was hot off the press last week. It'll be distributed to our breweries very soon. You'll know that you have the newest and latest version because the cover of it is purple. We have strategically changed the color every edition. The newest one is purple. It has the most accurate and up-to-date list of all the breweries in Knox County and counties touching Knox County, including the Passport program as well. So make sure to get your hands on the newest Ale Trail map out today.
Lovely.
All right, who's going next?
Go right ahead.
Sure. All right. Here we go. All right. So Denver Beer Company falls $999,993,870 short of fundraising goal to buy the Rockies. And when I first read this, I thought Rocky Mountains. No, it's the Rockies baseball team. And the reason that they did that, they tried to raise money so they could bring the team back to the city. And failing miserably, sorry about that, failing miserably in the process, but they decided to donate the $6,130 raised to, that is the Angel Relief Fund, which helps hospitality workers who have been negatively impacted by the pandemic. So a beautiful thing came from that, even though they failed spectacularly in their original mission. It wound up being a largely positive thing.
They were so
thank
close.
you. Oh, so close.
I love this.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah. I love this so much. So Denver Beer Company decided they want to try and do a fundraising to buy an MLB team.
Yeah.
And in order to do this, they needed $1 billion.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had a GoFundMe with a goal of $1 billion.
And that makes me wonder who we should try to do a GoFundMe to buy.
Let's buy the Vols. Let's buy the University of Tennessee and all the land it sits on and everything.
Hey,
or the state.
And
I guess it belongs to
whatever
the
we're
state.
short, we'll just donate to the University of Tennessee.
I think they're good. Something tells me they're good.
They're probably fine. Now, I have a strange feeling that we might have another damn seltzer report from Stryker.
Ooh.
You know we do. We might as well just go ahead and find a sponsor for this segment of the program. But just when you thought Truly had all the hard seltzer varieties covered, the brand has a new drink that just might be your go-to drink of the summer. The new Truly Hard Seltzer Punch gives you a fruit punch type flavor to shake up the old canned drinks. After testing out 200 recipes with nearly 2,000 sippers, how I didn't get invited to be one of those, I have no idea. But Truly has created a blend of hard seltzer and traditional punch in 4 flavors: fruit, tropical, berry, and citrus. And just like the rest of Truly's offerings, each has 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 5% ABV. So you won't be able to miss the bold red box with the red, turquoise, magenta, and lime green cans inside. You can find the Truly Hard Seltzer Punch variety in stores nationwide beginning on May 10th. It's available in a box of 12 with 3 cans of each flavor, so at least it'll allow you to, give each one of them a try a few times over and verify which one is your favorite. So let the seltzer sipping begin.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, locally here in Knoxville, we are seeing more seltzers as well.
We are.
I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but I know for a fact that there is the Elster from Elst. Mm-hmm. Next Level has a few seltzers out.
Zool just released the Zelster. Abridged has their seltzer.
And Abridged has a seltzer as well. So as we've reported for almost a year now, seltzers are not going away. They continue to rise, and that continues to be the case.
And, I've been doing, that damn seltzer report kind of out of angst over the last few weeks.
Tell me how you really feel, though.
Well, you know what? I decided this week, if you can't beat them, join them. So I've got old number 21 in my hand. This is the offering from Next
Level, the orange cranberry
Yes.
seltzer.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Well, I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that
too.
Cheers,
Cheers.
y'all. All right, now, y'all joining us here live at the Hub, remember, we've only got one rule, and that's when we drink, we all drink together. Let's try that again. Cheers.
I'll drink to that.
I think we're up to number 4. All right, before we round out our brew news segment, I also want to mention we've got a wonderful treat to enjoy during the show today. Sitting right here in front of me, you may notice we've got a little trash panda in a slushy suit.
Aww.
These are brought to us courtesy of Pretentious Beer Company. Pretentious Beer Company is doing beer slushies now Thursday through Saturday. They are available to drink on site and to go as well. And they brought us a lemonade and a blue raspberry to enjoy during the show. So this show might go off the rails just a little bit.
As it should.
Wow. I always wait to try it while I'm live on air. Holy Moses.
I'll slurp to that.
All right, before we close out our brew news segment, anything you guys want to add?
Thanks, Alex.
no.
Thanks, Pretentious.
Oh, yeah, Cam will get you a straw. Nope.
Yeah, I was going to say, I need a
Oh, wait,
straw.
I left you 2 straws over there. They
you
should
did?
be.
You're the
Yeah.
best.
Cam, did you steal our straws?
All right, folks, that's it for this week's brew news.
Hooray!
All right, folks, we're back, and I'm super excited to be hanging out with our guests that we have featured here tonight for this week's episode. I'll be introducing them in just a few moments, but for those of you joining us live, lucky for you, James, our wonderful bartender, is working on some tasters right now that he'll be dishing out in just a few minutes because we can't do an interview without beer, so we're definitely going to dive into some beer in just a few minutes. All right, to my left, we'll just dive straight into it. We have a wonderful new brewer here in Knoxville who has been featured a lot lately at Knox Brew Hub. Her name is Allie Duffy, and she is assistant brewer at Zool Beer Company. Y'all give it up for Allie.
Welcome, Allie.
Now, Allie, you have done a lot with us lately. You were part of the Drink and Learn that we did. And then you also had a great event, a collaboration with Orpheus. Thanks for doing those, by the way, and for hanging out with us.
No problem.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I know we've talked a little bit about your story before, but looking forward to getting to know you more and for hanging out with you. So,
Heck yeah.
all right, sweet. Thanks for being here. And then to her left, we also have Daniel Barkdoll. Daniel is an assistant brewer, or just head brewer. I don't know what the official title is.
Head brewer.
Head brewer. Okay.
Hey.
Congrats. That's awesome. I know it doesn't really matter. We're all brewing beer and we're enjoying life, but
It's all semantics.
yeah, basically. But you're at Albright Grove Brewing Company, one of the newest breweries in town. I mean, they've been around for about a year-ish, year and a half. It's been less than 2.
September of 2019.
2019.
Nice.
Thanks for hanging out with us and for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yay! And I'll drink to both of them.
Oh, cheers.
I took way too big of a sip there. So, I mean, let's talk first about this beer that we're about to be tasting. This is a seasonal release from Albright Grove Brewing Company. This is the Ridgeline Maibach. Daniel, tell us a little bit of the inspiration behind this beer and what we can expect from tasting it.
Sure. So this is a pretty traditional German style that usually coincides with springtime. It's usually brewed to be drank late April, early May. It's pretty malt forward, super crisp. It's kind of akin to like a Martzen or like a Fest beer, but kind of on the other side of the calendar in springtime.
Love it.
What's special about this particular one is we lager it in Chardonnay barrels for 2 months, which is not traditional. So it definitely adds a lot of depth of flavor and character from that barrel.
That's exciting.
Well, let's take a sip.
Yep.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Cheers.
Tink, tink.
Clicky, clicky.
That is nice.
Oh, man.
That tastes very springy. That's a bad word, but you know what I mean.
I do.
And I love that we serve this beer here in the dimple glass,
That's
which
what you should serve it in.
adds to that experience as well. What do you guys think? Anybody else know?
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, I was telling Daniel before the show that this was a beer that I brought back home to Wisconsin last year to share at my annual big beer share, and it was very well received, and for good reason. It's a very pretty beer. It's very pretty and just crisp and perfect for right now. Like this beer, this weather, it's just perfect combination.
Well done.
Agreed.
Well done. Now, you mentioned aging it in the Chardonnay barrels is not traditional. What inspired you all to do that? Did you just happen to have some barrels? Did you seek them out? What led to that decision?
That was kind of Nick's brainchild. Nick, the owner, brewmaster. I just kind of followed his lead on that. But I highly agreed with the end result, and we're going to keep probably just doing it.
Okay, very cool.
Also, kind of a cool thing about this beer, we can literally only brew it this time of year because our cellar, our barrel storage, is not climate controlled. So we brew it in the wintertime, and once it starts warming up in the springtime, we have to pull those barrels out before it gets too warm in there. So it's very traditional farmhouse style. Of,
Limited in the environment that you have.
yes, like very seasonal. So
Very cool.
We can only brew this once a year.
Well, I'm going to be really honest with you. We released this beer here at the Hub on Saturday, and I was terrified it was going to be gone by the time the radio show came around.
That's a valid fear.
It's been a very popular beer, and I guarantee you we have very little of it left. So
We're almost out of it in the brewery as well.
perfect. We had 2 people call in and ask if we had it in 4-pack and asked us to put their name on it. So well done. That's how you want seasonal beers to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Allie. So let's talk a little bit about your journey. What brought you into the beer world, and then ultimately what brought you to Knoxville. What were you doing before you were brewing?
I was a marine biologist, and I was working as a contractor at the EPA. So for 3 years, I did water quality analysis on the Gulf Coast, and then for 3 other years, I did microplastics research with corals. That was awesome. And one of my coworkers at EPA opened his own microbrewery with his wife. He had been homebrewing for over 10 years and really making delicious beers. So they brought me on their team, and I started out as a beer tender, and then showed some interest in learning the cellaring and brewing side of things. So he kind of let me start. And then my husband got a promotion that moved us out of state. So we first moved to Georgia, and I picked up cellaring and brewing at Wild Leap Brew Co., which is like commercial scale, in LaGrange, Georgia. And then we were there for 7 months, and we got moved for his job again because of the pandemic, restructuring some things in their company. And so that landed us here in Knoxville. And then I got lucky enough to find Zool.
And you put out some feelers at breweries in Knoxville and found Zool.
Yep.
Very cool. And so you started in the Gulf Coast, Georgia, then Knoxville, and found a love for brewing after.
Yeah. So it was the study we talked about during the Drink and Learn. While I was in Pensacola at that microbrewery, that study came out about beer brewed by women being valued less than beer brewed by men, and that kind of gave me the drive to want to prove those people wrong.
Love
and
that.
What's up? That's what's up.
and keep pursuing brewing. So until I find, a science job again, I'm going to keep doing this.
Well, brewing is kind of a science job.
And well, yeah, I
absolutely.
mean marine biology. I should be more specific. But yeah.
And I mean water quality also tying into brewing as well. I love that whole golden thread theory, winding back, seeing what brought you to where you are today. So the question that I really had, and this goes to both of you, both really big outdoors people. I mean, from the sounds of it, love hiking, both of you.
Yeah.
So twofold question. One, favorite local trail. Two, favorite trail beer. Doesn't have to be local, but if you have a favorite beer that you bring with you, what's that?
You can
Me
start.
first?
Either
Sure.
one, yeah.
The first question is going to be kind of hard to answer. I have so many, and also like my favorite spots I don't really want to tell
Totally fair. Absolutely.
everyone about. But let me think of one off the top of my head. The
Okay.
beer is a pretty easy one. I really like Daycation from
Okay.
Highland.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think the perfect session IPA for being outside and having, still like a hoppy option.
Yeah.
Let me think about the first one.
You got it.
I'm still too new here to have a favorite trail, but we just did about a 20-mile loop in the Smokies.
Oh, cool.
Forney Ridge Trail to Forney Creek Loop. So we did a backpacking like in the backcountry out there, and that was super hard but really cool. So I
Yeah.
highly recommend it.
And your
if you
favorite
like
trail
that.
beer?
I don't. This might be surprising. I don't honestly take beer with me hiking very often, but
I actually usually don't either.
yeah.
Like a post trail, a post hike.
I'll have some in the car
yeah.
when I get back.
I
Fair.
love going to breweries after, and like that'll fluctuate where I go.
Same.
But
Look at him, all healthy. I'm drinking on the trail.
I just get all full,
No, yeah.
and then I don't know. I'd rather have a beer afterwards.
a friend offered me the REI beer recently.
Wait,
I think with
REI beer?
well,
They're
they
making
did like
their own beer
They
now?
did a collab with, I think it was 6 Point. I'm probably gonna slaughter this.
No, we'll
But they,
Googling it now.
yeah.
beep boop beep boop.
And it was really good. It was a session IPA, and that was a nice, overlook beer
Yeah.
before you hike back out.
So you got into brewing because a friend of yours started a brewery, and then ultimately ended up in Knoxville because of your husband's work. Daniel, what got you into brewing, and ultimately what brought you to Knoxville?
My good friend at the time was the packaging manager at Mother's Brewing Company in Springfield, which is where I'm from. So of course I, thought that was just the coolest thing ever, and started volunteering on the packaging line, on the bottling line, which turned into part-time, which turned into full-time. Left my other job and just went all in on beer, which transitioned into doing some cellar cross-training and then eventually brewing there. So I basically learned everything about beer and brewing at that first job.
One of the common threads that we hear a lot is that people's intro into beer is usually at the very bottom.
Oh, yeah.
We don't see a lot of people who are getting jobs immediately as assistant brewers or head brewers. There's canning work and bottling work and bartending and all kinds of stuff. And that's really a great way to learn and to get introduced into the beer community.
I think so.
So you got to what point before you made the transition to Knoxville, Tennessee as the head brewer at Albright?
I was working and living in Arkansas in between that first job and this job. Another brewing opportunity that I decided to take, kind of change of pace, change of scenery. And then met Nick, the owner, brewmaster at Albright, in Arkansas. He was consulting.
You met him in Arkansas?
He was consulting for the brewery that I was working at.
Oh, interesting.
So he's jumped around. He's done a whole bunch of stuff.
So this was before Nick moved to Knoxville.
Moved back.
Right. He's from Knoxville.
He's from Knoxville originally.
I knew him and my brother knew each other from high
West
school.
High school,
yeah,
UT.
Yeah.
And then he went and did his whole beer journey. Been all over. And then decided to come back and start his own. So this is his first proper brewery that is his own.
It's his own.
Yeah.
So you guys made the connection outside of Knoxville,
Yes.
and then he contacted you.
I contacted him.
Okay.
Because I knew that he was starting this, and I knew that I wanted to work for him and be a part of it. And he gave me a shot.
So what really drew you to Knoxville wasn't necessarily Knoxville. It was more the relationship you had with Nick.
I did come out to visit when he was still kind of putting stuff together. The brewery was complete. I mean, it wasn't even close to being finished. But I wanted to come and check out Knoxville for a weekend, and went to like the Smokies and tried to jam pack as much as I could into a few days, and instantly knew that I could definitely fit.
That you could fit in here, yeah. I one of the first times that you and I got a chance to hang out was when we did that trip to Chattanooga.
That was pretty wild.
That was so much fun, and I hope that we continue to do more of those.
Hopefully that can happen again this year. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Maybe next year. It'll happen again for sure.
Yes.
Well,
How do I get an invite to that?
You've been invited. Okay, so we've said. You want an invite or you have a question, Greg? You want an invite? It'll be easy, Greg. All you have to do is open a brewery. That's all you got to do. Just kidding. Or just be like 0.5% owner of one brewery. That's all you need. So you basically already have all the beer you drink at them. So, and I'll drink to that.
I'll definitely drink to that. Cheers. These bags don't clink very well, but
No.
I can't stop. I slap
Slap the bag.
I can't
Perfect.
stop.
How's that double? Is that working?
It tastes like cotton candy together. Oh my gosh. I can't stop.
Sugar.
I'm going to ask both of you, what is one thing that surprised you about Knoxville? One thing that maybe you didn't see coming, and you moved here and you started brewing, and maybe, there's a tagline, Knoxville will surprise you. And I'm curious if Knoxville has surprised you in any way. And we keep the theme going of not giving you all the questions before the show.
Yeah.
So
No, that's good.
If you need a minute, just let me know.
No
we
pressure.
can ramble.
I can go if you need a minute.
I got one. I guess, and I mean this with all due respect, it's a scruffy-looking city.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what to expect when we first got here. And then you find all these amazing hidden gems in the community, like Old City and stuff. And then, just the access to all of the different outdoor activities is incredible. So I guess that was the best part.
Cool. Daniel?
I would say the overall caliber of beer that's being made here surprised me for the good. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. And now you're a part of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Both of you are. Yep. Well done. Cool. What are some? You guys got any more questions? I mean, I've got tons, but I'm trying to share the mic here a little bit.
Kind of beer related, kind of not. So I feel like Daniel, your personality and your interests tie in really well to what they're doing over at Albright Grove. A lot of their beers are named after different trailheads. So Allie, kind of related, kind of not. So Zool, their entire thing is nostalgic movies and like 80s horror movies. What's your favorite horror movie?
Oh no, I don't even have a
Yeah, I mean it's like kind of my jam. So
No, it's funny. No, they ask me that too. That's not this is the worst. This is not really my genre. My husband loves horror movies, so I try to watch them for him, and I am getting into them. I just don't have I guess I love psychological thrillers though.
Yes,
so as long as it's not too gory and it's more like mind bendy, I'm into it.
Dig
but
that.
I don't have a favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
Do you?
They're probably
Daniel?
gonna hate me for that.
No. Well, what's your favorite psychological thriller?
Yeah.
At the time.
I'm trying to think of one. On the top.
I was gonna say my favorite horror film is Mean Girls.
That was
scares the
reality.
shit out of me.
Yeah. You don't even know.
Greg's like, I'll drink to that. Hey. There we go. All right, what are some things coming up in the future for Albright Grove and for Zool Beer Company that you were excited about, something that you really are looking forward to, and maybe that can be beer related, maybe that can be event related, just anything that you're doing that you're really looking forward to coming up.
First, we have quite a few new beers coming out. I'm probably not going to discuss those yet, but we do have our kettle sour coming back, which I'm super excited about, and we have a fun little like half barrel keg that we can infuse fruit and spices and do little one-offs. So we've been doing our like single track series, which is basically just a half barrel of draft. We'll take an existing beer and add whatever sort of weird adjuncts to it, and then it's tap room only. Those have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw this one this week, the blend with cantaloupe. That sounds amazing.
I tried it today. It's good.
Can confirm.
It's
Confirm.
good.
Amazing. Cool.
Because I mean,
Excited.
all that stuff like it's just one-offs and like from the hip. So some of them don't turn out quite as good as I think they will.
Yeah.
It's a lot of experimenting. So I'm excited for that.
Cool. What about you, Allie?
We are getting ready to expand,
Which is amazing.
Yeah,
You guys have barely
so
been open a
that's
year,
probably
and
what
here you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Acquiring the warehouse space behind our current tap room. We'll be getting more tanks and a canning line. So that's all in the future. So that's really exciting. We're growing really fast. But yeah, we just kicked off like the Seltzer program, I guess you could call it. Not really. And like we've got, and we've got just some really cool new sours that also I probably can't talk about. But I'm looking forward to that as well.
So you guys are just looking forward to making more beer.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. We don't really have any events planned. It's just too soon.
Yeah. That's actually my next question was, we've gone over a year now without a beer festival. Do you miss them?
Yes.
Or are you kind of like, this has been awesome not doing beer festivals? Where are you, or is it a little column A, little column B? How are you feeling about it?
I think it's been awesome.
You think it's been awesome?
It's been a nice break.
I love them, so I miss them, but I also haven't done like a ton of them, so it's still like fresh for me, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. I like your honesty. It's very straightforward answers. And this is probably
working beer festivals is not my favorite thing in the world to do.
Yeah. I mean, it can be hectic, but I don't know. I love when I get to run away from the tent and go drink as many things as quickly as possible.
I just don't like carrying all the stuff from the truck half a mile away.
And the
making,
after parties.
6 trips.
Yeah. If you guys do that here, I don't know. There was Emerald Coast Beer Fest. Yeah. Okay, good. In Pensacola, and that was a huge one. And the day after the beer festival, down like on the beach with the pool and the lazy river and all the leftover beer from all the breweries and all the brewers just hanging out. Like that was the best part. So I miss that a lot.
Allie, we have a beer festival that's in Townsend in the middle of nowhere. And basically everyone rents like hotel rooms and cabins.
Yes.
And so the after party there is always
That sounds fun.
stupid fun.
I missed that one. I was pretty bummed out about it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It sounds like it's the best one.
It's the best at some things. They all have their best.
Best after party.
That one definitely has the best after party for sure.
Well, I mean, and even though, because of, the pandemic, they didn't even have the Tennessee Winter Beer
But they
Fest
still had the
this
after
year.
party.
But we still had the after party. A bunch of us had already made our reservations. We were like, you know what?
Yeah.
We'll bring our own kegs. We'll bring, have like a bottle share thing, and we'll just do the after party without the festival. So, and we'll probably do it again next year if there's not a festival. Hopefully it'll be back next year.
I hope so too.
So I actually recently, this past week, got to speak to one of the organizers of the Tennessee Winter Beer Fest, and even though that they were pretty bummed that they couldn't do the festival, they were still able to raise a ton of money for New Hope and a bunch of charities. So that's really cool. But something that I found interesting, you said you worked for the EPA. Mm-hmm. So are there any causes in particular that you would like to see the breweries, respectively, that you work for, something that you want to raise money for?
I love like anything like Riverkeeper, Surf Rider, like protecting our waterways and ensuring clean water. I'm all about cleanups, like really anything that
and
helps get outdoors.
Albright Grove has done a couple different things with like the Tennessee River and the cleanup for that as well.
So we work with the Little River Watershed Association, which is obviously centered around the Little River.
Yeah.
And also the Chickamauga.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember the exact title of their organization. In Chattanooga. It's Chattanooga based. So we have 2 separate beers that we partner with those organizations, and basically $1 of every 4-pack that we sell goes to them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we try to do some water
Yeah, that's
shed
awesome.
related, organization stuff too,
Awesome.
I love that.
and cleanups and stuff like that.
I miss
Well,
cleanups.
beer is mostly water, so that's an important place to start.
True.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to continue. This will be our last question, and then we can just hang out and drink beer. This is a question we've asked every single guest on the show so far, so we're going to keep this going. Looking back on this time period, the time that you were a brewer during a global pandemic, what has been one positive memory or experience that you'll have for the rest of your life looking back on the past year?
Specifically, the friendships I made at Wild Leap. Shout out to you guys. The production ramped up during the pandemic, and I got hired like 2 months into the pandemic, basically. And so we went through crazy production schedules. Like to-go sales for beer were shooting like through the roof, so they needed more staff to help keep up. There was still only 30 of us like on staff, which sounds a lot, but everyone's in different departments. So in like the brew side, there were like 4 or 5 of us, and like half of those were brewers. So there were just like a couple of us in the cellar. Everybody got really close, and just it was like that camaraderie, like having to grind it out and meet the deadlines. It was great.
Yeah.
What about you, Daniel?
I was super fortunate to keep working through the entire process. I didn't get laid off or furloughed or anything. I just worked the whole time, which was very fortunate.
Lucky, yeah.
But also just being able to, I guess, spend more time outside because it was the only way you could hang out with like-minded people who also wanted to hang out outside and do the same thing and socialize, but still be, responsible. So I spent a bunch of time outside in the summer, and it was kind of everything I could ever want.
Yeah, last summer was definitely the break I didn't want, but the break that I needed.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
And shout out to Albright Grove for being my neighborhood, essentially, brewery for offering drive-through beer pickup where you just pull up and honk. That was
pretty
amazing.
handy. We're still doing that.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely drink that. Cheers.
Slap the bag.
Yeah, people still use it all the time. You just pull up and call.
That's cool.
Well, Daniel, Allie, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank
Is there
you so
anything
much
that
for
you all
being
want to
here.
add before we sign off here? The mic is yours.
I have nothing to add.
I don't have a cool sign off.
Where is the best place for people to get connected with Albright Grove?
Probably Instagram. That's kind of the most current, most easiest avenue.
Perfect.
Yeah. Or Facebook, but Instagram.
Yeah, same for us. Instagram, Zool Beer.
It's a little beer.
We have a website too, but I mean, just go to Instagram.
All right, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. And
Thanks for having us.
Hey, cheers.
Thanks so much.
To Daniel and Allie and Albright and Zool Beer Company.